Today, we're going to be talking about two interesting budget DSP IEMs, the Moondrop Chu DSP and the Tanchjim Bunny DSP. Both of these come in at around the same price point, but they take very different approaches when it comes to sound and tuning. The Chu DSP focuses on a more fun, energetic, and warm sound, while the Tanchjim Bunny focuses on a balanced, vocal quality, smoother, natural sound. What makes this both of IEM stand out is the DSP cable, which means that you get a built-in DAC where you could directly plug these in your cell phones and also have access to each of their respective apps for you to be able to EQ it straight. We're gonna be unboxing and take a look at the build of these two IEMs. Both boxes are similar in size where you could see the specs at the back of the box. You get the IEMs with the cable inserted, two pairs of ear tips, and a carrying pouch. For the Chu 2s, you are greeted with the IEMs separated from the cable. A leather carrying pouch. Inside is the DSP cable, one set of ear tips, and an anime waifu card. Both IEMs fit really well, where the Chu 2 is smaller, fits deeper, has better isolation, while the Bunny is lighter and also has less deep insertion for a more comfortable feel. Let's move on to the microphone test. This is the Tanchjim Bunny DSP microphone. Tell me down below in the comments what do you think about it. This is the microphone of the Moondrop Chu DSP. Tell me down below what are your thoughts on the microphone of the Moondrop Chu DSP. For the apps, I personally prefer the Tanchjim app because it offers more practical features out of the box like official presets, game EQ modes, and mic gain control. That said though, the Moondrop app still has its strengths like the auto EQ feature and the manual EQ interface feels cleaner and easier to use. So now we're gonna compare these two in the case and the build quality. So firstly, let's check out the Moondrop Chu 2 where it has a leather suede case that is quite light but also can protect the IEMs from a little bit of drop resistance. Compared to this Tanchjim Bunny where it is literally a pouch with a drawstring on this cloth type of material will definitely not protect the IEMs when you fold it. So now let's check out the IEMs itself. Here's the Bunny and here's the Chu 2. So as you can see, they have different materials of the cable. For me personally, I like the cable and the Chu 2 DSP more since it's a more premium 4-core braided cable compared to a straight single core cable. This is similar to like KZ's. And also one con of this cable is that since it's transparent, this could yellow over time. Compared to this where since it's like a rubber texture, this would probably last longer. So now, as we get into the build quality of the shell, the Chu 2 is made out of a metal shell with the brass nozzle. As you could hear, it's quite gold here. So this feels really premium, sturdy, but a little bit heavy considering its small size. While the Bunny features a transparent plastic, which is a cleaner overall looks, and also it is still quite solid, but this definitely feels lighter to wear on the ear. So for me, I personally like the Bunny's design overall, but both are actually really nice. It's just up to subjective preference. Yeah. Also, the cable of this Bunny is a little bit more like stiffer overall, as and doesn't really behave as well as the Chutu. So, for example, if I wrap it around, then see it quite opens. Unlike if I wrap the Chutu's cable, this would behave more. See, behaves better as opposed to this where it just wants to untangle itself. Yeah. So now let's move on to the sound quality. So now I have the graph here of the Chu 2 DSP and the Bunny. So from as we can see, the Chu 2 DSP, which is the blue one, has an higher sub bass and also a higher mid bass, which definitely leads to a more fun and energetic sound. But the more pronounced mid bass over here can kind of bleed into the vocals. As opposed to the Bunny where it is more straight or more neutral, the bass feels cleaner, lighter, and tighter for me. Now for the vocals, as you can see here, there's a slight drop over the Chu 2s, while the Bunny has a slight increase on the lower vocals. As I said, the vocals feels fuller and more lush in the Bunnies, while for the Chu 2s, it feels quite seated back or recessed, but it is still quite good actually. And then for the for the treble, as you could see here, the Chu 2s a little bit higher over the upper mid-range and on the treble, which gives it a more energetic sound, especially for cymbals and for the sparkles and higher frequencies. Then lastly, for the air or the upper treble, you could see that the Bunny is more has more air over here, the air region, the 15K. So this leads to a more open and more less intimate stage where the Bunny feels a little bit wider compared to Chu 2s, but it's just only a minimal difference, and it probably has to do with its neutral tuning, which uh, pretty much affects the whole overall sound. So basically, to summarize the sound difference of these two, the Chu 2 is for people that wants a more instrumental listening or more fun, relaxed, longer listening sessions. While the Bunny is perfect for genres that focus on vocals, whether it be female or male vocals, and also just want also a relaxing sound, but it is more of a balanced neutral sound that where all frequencies are still pretty much there with the bass, the mid-range, and the treble where there are no recessed parts compared to the Chuto where there is a noticeable drop in the presence of the vocals. So that wraps up my comparison of the Chuto DSP and the Tanchjim Bunny DSP. If you're interested in either of these IEMs, you can check the links in the description below. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye!